Here it is, the initial rough sketch of...
Ladies and gentlemen, the Traveling Wildberries.
Brando's new temporary winter resting place. That's right, we decided that we were going to sit out this first winter at the new homestead. We also decided that we didn't want Brando to be buried in a block of ice or snow over the winter. You never know, we may get the urge to take off and head south at some point. I called Jess to see if he was available to give me a hand with the construction of the new winter resting spot for the RV. This one was going to be a little more permanent than the one we had built together at the old house, but with the same design concept in mind. Rather than build a roof such that it could hold the weight of many snowfalls, my design relies on an angled roof which should allow the snow to slide off as it reaches a certain level of accumulation. This worked fine with the last structure at the house, so I was confident it would work in a similar way here. Jess said the only 3-day opening he had available to him was the second week of November. I knew this was going to be a bit late in the season as it might be a little cool, but his work schedule didn't leave us much choice. I was just grateful we had any time available since he's so busy usually. I didn't have time or the finances to do a full concrete slab, and I didn't want to put crushed stone down this season, so I opted for these temporary tire ramps just to keep the RV from sinking into the grass. I ordered the wood and materials, which arrived the morning just before I went to pick Jess up. We got to work as soon as we got back to the house. Something I had not anticipated with the design was that it was going to end up being attached to the garage in quite the way that it did, but I'm kind of glad that happened as it adds a degree of stability as well. We parked the RV in the spot, just as we had done on the previous build, and used the roof as a scaffold to help us put things together. I decided I would probably be easier to put the roof pieces together in 3 individual 8x12 partitions on the ground at first, and then push them up and slide them into position once they were done. Jess came up with the brilliant idea of attaching the plastic weather guard directly to each partition before we put them into place. I believe this worked better than rolling the plastic down from the upper side once they were positioned, which is how I was thinking I was going to do it at first. As you can see, it's a fairly simple design that is not a total enclosure, yet it prevents the snow from burying the RV. I also made sure that the spacing for the vertical beams allows for access to all the RV doors and storage areas. We worked into the darkness on the first night trying to get as much done as possible. We actually got one of the roof panels up into position before we quit for the night. The next morning, we were faced with a situation. It had snowed or rained or both overnight, so the roof had a layer of ice on it. This made the use of the roof as a platform that we needed to stand on rather precarious. We managed to work through this as well as much colder temperatures, and we got a good portion of the build done before packing it in around 6 that evening. Again, it was dark when we headed into the house. After doing a few touches the next morning, I drove Jess back into town. Thanks a lot for the help, Jess. It was muchly appreciated. A couple of days later, Kat and I installed the plastic roof panels to the upper portion of the roof. And there we have it, the finished product. I don't remember what the total cost was right now, but I have the receipts around here somewhere. let's just say it was quite reasonable. And that's it for this adventure, if building an RV port can be called an adventure. Stay tuned for an update on what our plans are going to be for the new year. We have decided on a journey which will likely take us wandering for about 3 months or so. Ciao for now.